Larry Harris, a retired professor of marine ecology from UNH, and I have been very concerned about the misrepresentation of what has been put forward relating to the environmental impact of dam removal. The reality is that there will be a negative impact on the aquatic ecosystem and fish runs with dam removal. There's a major issue with water flow, and that has to do with the UNH dam. And then there are the toxic sediments that are being held back by the Mill Pond Dam that would have a negative impact on the estuary. One of the misconceptions and areas that I take exception to is the fact that almost none of the discussion relates to the elephant in the room, which is the UNH dam, which is 1.5 miles approximately upstream from the dam. And that is a source of water, drinking water for UNH and Durham. And so during many parts of the year, there's more water being taken out than is coming down. And so the concept of the Oyster River as a free-flowing river is not true due to that UNH dam. One of the issues also is that the concept that the Oyster River and College Brook will be liberated is not accurate, because College Brook and the Oyster River above Thompson Lane, where the new Kenny Rotner Bridge is, flow down into the pond. The only area that would be impacted by dam removal is from the dam up to where Hamel Brook comes into the backwater by 108, and that area will be so shallow that it will be very difficult to support any aquatic wildlife, particularly the herring and eels that run into the freshwater system. In addition, the VHB report proposes establishing a trench, dredging a trench, rock lined, from the dam to the Milne Sanctuary. So the only area that is actually free flowing in terms of the Oyster River is going to be from the Milne Sanctuary up to the Kenny Rotner Bridge, and that is impacted also by the UNH dam. Alewives spawn in the pond, and they won't have any spawning habitat, and blueback herring would only have the habitat above Thompson Lane, where they already spawn, but their young won't have any pond to live in during the several months that they spend in fresh water, and eels will be limited to above the Kenny Rotner Bridge. Also, the habitat of what currently is the pond and backwater will be so shallow that it won't support any of the current very diverse 130 plus species of wildlife that are dependent on that system. There are several threatened water plants, and the northern leopard frog, which will all be negatively impacted by dam removal. Personally, I don't see any positive impacts of removing the dam unless you're an invasive plant species. Major issue that has led to all of this debate about what to do with the dam is the fact that both College Brook and the Oyster River are impaired waterways. They are polluted, especially now with nutrients that from runoff. College Brook is labeled as one of the most polluted streams in all of New Hampshire. And historically, there were coal piles to coal-fired power plants that were at UNH, and there are also the College Brook begins at the Fairchild Dairy and goes right past a lot of parking lots, including the Plaza parking lot where they push the snow into the College Brook. The Oyster River begins up by the Lee Traffic Circle and goes past agricultural fields like Moorfields and a lot of paved areas. So this is one of the major issues that needs to be addressed. The sediments in the mill pond historically are full of heavy metals and particularly very high levels of mercury, probably beginning with the coal piles that were at UNH in the past. And the science labs used to drain directly into College Brook. And so what we're talking about is very impacted sediments that would have a major impact on the biology of the organisms living below the dam and also in the Great Bay. And the VHB report says that a great deal of that sediment will be flushed down if the dam is removed into the tidal portions of the Oyster River. I wouldn't want to have an oyster farm if the dam is removed. What we really need to be doing is working on keeping the sediments trapped where they are and addressing the root cause, which is the negative impact of runoff from both agricultural areas and developed parking lots and such, and not send that downstream to the Great Bay and our neighbors. Okay, one of the issues that keeps coming up that is a true misrepresentation is the fact that the dam removal factions keep bringing up the cost of dredging. Well, dredging is not on the table. VHB said it would be impossible to get the permits. The Army Corps of Engineers also said the same thing. So if you take away the cost of dredging, repair is less expensive than removal. And also, I would refer you back to the Town Council meeting on DCAT from November 26, 2018. It's late in the evening when it comes up, but that is when the Town Council and Todd Selig came up with a decision to remove the dam, and the VHB study was based on justifying that decision. The real solution should be to seek new bids from engineering companies that are specialize in dam repair, because what we really should be doing is what is best for the environment, which is dealing with the impairments, and that would also be best for Durham citizens' pocketbooks.